Welcome, welcome. Take a deep breath. It's Omaji, and I'm so grateful to be serving in this way with you today. And I invite you to connect to your higher self, to your council of light, and just share your gratitude, your love, your acknowledgement for their presence, for their support, for their love. And just take a deep breath. And as we gather in this way, just through the simple act of saying yes and showing up, we're actually putting forth powerful intentions for liberation, for remembering what we are. So I'd like for you to take a moment and just acknowledge that. Acknowledge that those intentions within you are present, and bring forth whatever other intentions you'd like to acknowledge. In other words, I'm choosing to be more at peace. I'm choosing to feel greater and greater levels of love and light. I'm choosing to know and be more of what I really am in truth. I'm choosing to experience greater prosperity. Whatever it is. And just allow your heart to relax around that. Just breathe into the heart from a space of, this is what I'm choosing. This is what my intentions are for my experience, for my expression, and for my life. And I'm so grateful that I have the power to choose for me. So would you be willing to be reminded what it feels like, how to, and that it is safe for you to choose for you? And take a breath. And would you be willing to be reminded the capacity, the infinite capacity that you have to choose for you, and the power of that choice? In other words, we're always choosing. We just aren't always conscious of what we're choosing. And when we choose on a conscious level, it takes precedence over whatever's been running. It's like we're taking the opportunity to choose now what we prefer from our vantage point now, from everything we've gone through, from everything we've experienced, from all the lifetimes of learning. Now this is what I choose. And can we anchor you in that empowerment? And with your permission, we're just going to bring in some energetic alignments and elixirs to support you in really opening to deepening the knowing of how powerful your choice is. So just take a deep breath. And also they're showing how part of what's coming in is the alignments in answer to what you chose a moment ago, to what you in your heart said, I'm choosing greater peace or greater harmony or greater joy, whatever it is. These energies are now, with your permission, coming in to answer that and align you with that choice. We could say prayer, but we don't wish to go into old definitions of prayer. You know, if we're speaking of the definition of prayer, when we ask and receive, yes, prayer. And what if it's that easy? So take a deep breath. And so will you let go of everywhere you've been trying to figure it out with the intellect, or everywhere you've been trying to fix or change or solve with the mind, to create, to control, to manipulate. It's like where we thought we had to get our hands dirty and we had to have a lot of effort involved and we had to understand with the intellect. What if it's a matter of simply asking and receiving from infinite? And what if it's simply your relationship with your infinite self and nothing outside of you? So would you be willing to be reminded of that? And take a deep breath. And with that, would you be willing to allow your relationship with your infinite self to be expanded and reimagined into an even greater level of connection, of capacity, of expectation, of love, and of truth? Can we strengthen that perception of yourself as connected to infinite source? And if you're willing, you can say out loud, I am choosing to be into alignment, to be in alignment. Okay, we're going to start that over. My apologies. I am choosing to be in alignment with the knowing of my infinite self. And take a deep breath, because as you choose it, the energies are coming in to generate that alignment. Again, with your permission, allow these beautiful beings of light to support you in that alignment to truth. Strengthening your perception of yourself as your infinite self. And take a breath. Breathing into the heart. And we're just going to invite the mind to be reminded what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe to merge with the heart. And we can say also the intellect, what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe. They're showing me these hands joining. It's like in collaboration. So what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe to collaborate with the heart, in the heart, through the heart, to function in the heart, through the heart, as the heart. Can we reinterpret that relationship between the intellect and the heart, the mind and the heart? The human self and the heart, however we have identified. And they're showing this aspect of us with a calculator. It's like this aspect of us that we could say represents the intellect, represents logic, represents the part of us that's required to function at times within the physical world, when we need to balance our checkbook, when we need to analyze something with that, the analytical mind, they're saying now, the analytical mind. So can we show you, and can we remind you on a basic level, that the analytical mind is an aspect of you that can partner and join and merge with the heart and still function fully in this realm. Because what I'm being shown is that for many of us, we've separated the two. And we're either in the heart or we're in the intellect. But we haven't really allowed them to function as one. In other words, what if the intellect could be utilized through the heart? And we know you don't understand that. And we know this aspect of you with the calculator doesn't understand that. So can we introduce it to that way of being and show it what we mean by that? So that you're not turning off the heart in order to open the intellect, and you're not clicking off the intellect in order to be in the heart, but they actually function in harmony with each other. It's not like a coin that we flip anymore, where it has to be either heads or tails, either the heart or the intellect. It actually gets to be them functioning as one. And so, can we show you that, first of all, that is possible? And so there's a little piece coming in here. It's interesting. It's kind of where there's a part of us that thinks we've already mastered that. And so just take a breath, and I encourage you to notice if there's a part of you stepping forward that's saying, I don't need this, I already have this figured out. Okay, just notice it. And so what if what we've been doing, what if there's actually a step further that we can take that, where we're even more integrated in oneness, where we're even more aligned with our divine self, functioning completely from love, but still picking up the intellect now and then, and allowing that aspect to function through that love. Can we show you that? And we're using different words now to help bridge that perceived gap between where we think we already have it figured out and, oh, there's a new possibility here. What if there's actually an even greater level to functioning from the heart, functioning from love, functioning. And what if this is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, where we really allow, they're showing me these jet packs that we're putting on, where we really allow everything to click into place as oneness, where there isn't any perceived separation anymore, where there is no longer even a differentiation of, well, this is the intellect and this is the heart space, where it's just, I am. I am my divine self. But we include the intellect in that. We allow it to be there. We allow it to be a component of that functioning. As we gather up all these pieces, they're showing all these puzzle pieces spread out, and we're just gathering them up now, and we're including all of them. We're letting everything be embraced and included in oneness. Because for a while we've blamed the intellect for taking us out of the heart. So can we release all of that and any stories around that, and anywhere where we've made the intellect right, wrong, good, or bad? And can we just love it? Just for a moment, just for a minute, release all the judgment and just give it a hug. And take a breath. As we kind of, if you have to burp, or yawn, there's some stuff coming up with that. Just some resentment, really. I feel like it's like where we kind of resented the intellect, and where we kind of judged the intellect as being responsible for why we can't be in the heart all the time. So whatever that is, would you be willing to release that story and the guilt that we've projected onto the intellect, the blame, so that we can actually experience a greater level of oneness, a greater level of love, and reminding us that when we judge, we actually create an illusory separation from the love that we are. So take a deep breath as we release all the judgment of the intellect, as we release all the blame, anywhere where we made that aspect of ourselves wrong or bad, anywhere where we rejected that aspect of ourselves and decided it was the reason we couldn't have oneness. And just take some deep breaths as we bring in some energetic support, energetic elixirs, energetic cocktails to really infiltrate those parts of us that we thought we had to separate from in order to have our divine self. And we're going to thank the mind this whole time for trying to keep us safe from its perspective. From its perspective, the compartmentalization was necessary in order to survive. So we're going to just show the mind we're beyond that survival. We've survived, we did it, we've arrived, and now it's time to thrive. And in order to do that, we simply need to now reintegrate all of these aspects that we thought we needed to compartmentalize. So we're just going to give these downloads to the mind and just show it what it is, what actually occurs, what actually is being called for through that, and what we are once we've actually integrated all of those compartmentalized aspects. Everything we thought we had to keep separate in order to survive. And just take a deep breath. Just healing any trauma that might be surfacing. Healing any repressed emotions or thoughts or memories. And just allow all of it to just pass through your awareness. It doesn't mean anything about you. It was simply what we thought we couldn't experience because we thought we couldn't handle it. But it actually never meant anything about you. You are your divine self, and it's time to remember that. So just take a deep breath. So for a while, the intellect was our God. The intellect was what was keeping us safe. And it was perfect. It played its role perfectly. And now it's simply time for it to graduate into a new version of itself. So we're going to invite it to that. We're going to invite it to merge with the heart, to collaborate with the heart, to be in the heart, to actually live there. And we're going to let it go in and check it out and see how it feels. We're going to invite it to peer into the future of what it is once it's allowed that to occur, who it is, how it functions, how much freedom is actually there, that it still gets to be itself, but not from fear anymore. Because fear doesn't exist there. There's nothing to be afraid of. And what if the intellect could now be a tool for integration, for freedom, for love, for joy, for expansion, instead of separation? So just take a deep breath. And it's like it's really going through a transformation right now where it never thought of it that way. I never thought of myself that way. Oh my gosh, who am I with this new function? That I'm still me. I'm still analyzing. I'm still doing. It's like having the qualities and expressing the qualities that I am, but for a different purpose. What if the purpose could be love? What if the purpose could be joy and expansion and remembering and honoring and including everything in oneness, and remembering to include everything in oneness, including you, including itself. There we go. Take a deep breath. Just letting go of any fear. So with this, we're bringing in the knowing that we're safe. And it's like part of what the intellect's job was in the other capacities was to make sure we were safe. And so what if we could give the intellect, the aspect of us that represents that, the knowing and the information required for it to function, as though when we're in our joy, when we're in our peace, when we're in our love, we are safe. Because at that frequency, only love reflects. That when we're in our knowing of our divine self, we are safe. Because only love is real in that world. And fear doesn't even function there. It's not even a concept. So we're just going to show the intellect that. And it's a little abstract, but it's still receiving. So with that, we're going to show the intellect what was going on before and why we kept experiencing reasons to be afraid, reasons to need protection, or whatever it was, whatever we want to call it, reasons to compartmentalize, reasons to separate from. And so with that, we're going to give a dialogue, even though the energies have already been shared. What if before we were living in a world where fear was being perpetuated and reflections of fear were the result? And in that world, we did need to protect ourselves from certain things. But that's the old world now. And the new world, this brand new world that we've just stepped into, this world of love, in order to live here, it's required that we actually be willing to release all of the systems of fear and the ways of functioning in fear, because in order to live in the world where there is only love, fear is no longer a concept. So it's time to pick up the new systems of functioning in love in order to live there. And so it's a choice. And we're just going to show the mind very clearly. It's a choice, and we can't have both. But which one do you choose? Which one feels better to you? And at first, the world of love might feel a little bit unfamiliar. So can we show the mind how to dip its toe in there and feel it, and kind of put on the training wheels a little bit with regard to what it would feel like, what it would look like, what it would be like to live in that world without all the walls of separation, without all the walls of protection, but with an open heart and with a knowing that I am safe, that only love is real, that I am the divine itself. And I get to witness love reflecting everywhere, and beauty and joy and peace and harmony. And there aren't frequencies of anyone harming anyone here, because that's the old world. That's not this world. So are we willing to lay down all of the stories of hurt and harm and victim and tyrant and all the polarities, the opposites, in order to have love, in order to live in the world of love? And can we show the entire mind, all aspects of you, including the intellect, what it's like to function in this new world, and that it's not losing its identity, it's getting a major upgrade. It gets to relax and redirect its efforts to serve love instead of fear. There we go. Take a deep breath. And just relax. And we can even begin the energy of, I wonder what the world of love actually feels like. I wonder what it would really be like to live there. It would be so easy for my intellect to live in the heart there. And so we're just going to show your system, your body, your cells, what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe to relax, to not be on high alert anymore. And as you allow yourself to relax, as you choose that for yourself, with every breath, just choose to relax a little more. You're actually allowing this attunement to the new world, the world of love, the world of peace, the world of harmony. The world of infinite abundance and overflowing expressions of pure, perfect light, joy, truth, bliss, play. And I'm being shown the dolphin energy coming in as a reflection of that. That they can actually help us connect to that energy of just being, of just living as we're meant to be, at thriving as we're meant to thrive. And it's a completely different frequency than where most of us have been living. Or at least full time, right? So will you give yourself permission to be there full time in every moment, not just under certain circumstances? And can we show you that when you allow yourself to live there regardless of circumstances, you actually birth the new world? You actually transform everything around you as you hold that frequency, as you hold that knowing. Everything around you will shift to meet you there. And can we show you what you are when you step into the empowerment of choosing the new world? And that no one else can choose it for you. You must choose it for you. And every other soul has the opportunity to choose it for them. But as you choose it for you, you make it easier for them to choose. Because you create a line of energy, a bridge, if you will, for them to cross. And you serve them by demonstrating that it's possible. So what if this is always between you and you? No one else can affect your choice but you. It can seem at times that others may be affecting our choice, but that is simply because we're allowing them to. And we're using them as the excuse why we're not choosing it. Take a deep breath. And just notice. Release judgment. Be willing to release judgment. Just notice from awareness if that's been happening for you. And we're just going to show the mind how to notice without judging ourselves or anyone else, and to quickly step out of it and make a different choice. Because the awareness is a celebration that, oh, I'm aware I was doing that. Oh my gosh, I don't have to choose that anymore. This is what I choose now. And if we can cultivate for ourselves that awareness of non-judgment and just noticing what we've chosen in the past and choosing again without beating ourselves up or going into a story. The easiest way to do that is to see it as frequency. For me, anyway. It's like, oh, I was choosing that frequency and I don't choose that anymore. I choose this one now. The more that we can be that way about it, out of judgment, and just making it another choice, as if we were to put on one sweater and say, oh, I think I'd rather wear this one, and change sweaters. It's like nonchalant, right? It's not a big deal. We just make a new choice. If we can be that way with our choices in frequency, we can quickly step into the new world. Because the new world is actually, in truth, as available to us as putting on a new sweater. Will you let it be that easy? Will you release your attachments to all the stories of something else? Of it being more difficult, of it being more hard, of it being this arduous process of dredging up all past memories? Because it isn't that. It is, this is the frequency I was choosing, and it was fear-based, and I'm not choosing that anymore. I'm now choosing love instead. Will you let it be that easy? And as you cross the bridge into this new world, each step you will be revisiting a choice to choose a higher frequency, to choose a higher frequency, to choose a higher frequency, and to release the old. If you are listening to this, you are now at a place of mastery, or at least at a place where you can cultivate the mastery of it being simply your choice. And that you are simply revisiting the choices that were made in the past to choose a lower frequency, to choose fear instead. And now you are revisiting that to make a different choice. And your current experience is consistently beckoning you. What do you choose now? What do you choose now? What do you choose now? So if you can cultivate your mantra, I choose love instead, or I choose love. Yes, I choose love. I choose what I am. It can be that simple. It can be a simple switching of sweaters. The new world, the new dawn is here. It is here. It is present in your choices. And it is as simple as you choosing it now. Take a deep breath. Everything that you have experienced has prepared you for this. And everything that you have gone through and that you have transcended has made it possible for it to be this easy. So on a fundamental level, will you acknowledge that? that perhaps it may have been harder in the past, but would you be willing to hang up the hat of it being hard, difficult, arduous, challenging, painful? What if this phase of your journey gets to be much lighter, much freer, and much more honoring? And it's you remembering that it is that will make the difference. And you choosing to let go, finally and completely, of any stories or fears of it being hard or difficult or impossible. So anywhere you've cultivated an identity around having to struggle, around it being hard, would you be willing to let that go? And can we reinterpret your relationship with life? Anywhere on your bloodline, your DNA, where it was passed down that life has to be hard, that you have to climb the mountain, would you be willing to allow that to be reinterpreted not only for you but for your bloodline on the level of the DNA, on the level of identity? And take a deep breath. As we align you with your I Am presence, as you're willing, you can simply open, inviting in this alignment now to I Am that I am. The I Am that I am, the I Am presence, the knowing of the I Am presence, carries with it a certainty. It carries with it a certainty that it knows all is well, that it knows what it is so firmly that fear cannot exist in its presence, in its frequency. The I Am of you knows it is fully connected to its infinite source in every moment, and that fear has always been an illusion. So if you're willing, you can choose to align with the I Am presence now, the part of you that knows. And with your permission, we will strengthen this awareness, amplify it in your field, and release anywhere where we're still clinging to attempts to control from the perspective of the little human self, from fear. Just releasing the fear-based identities and identifications and reintroducing them to the I Am. I Am that I am. Just allowing this to flow in, to align. Just integrating. Integrating into this certainty. The part of you that knows only love is real. Laying down all of the battles where we were trying to prove something, get something. So we can relax into only love is real. There's nothing to battle. There's nothing to fight against or prove or fix. I choose the new world where everything is love. Where love reigns, where love overflows in every single aspect of me and my life. And just relaxing, just allowing. As we bring online and activate with your permission the aspects of you that thrive in this energy of I am that I am. In the world where only love is real. In the knowing of that truth. Just bringing in for you exactly what's required to remind you of this love, of this peace, of this harmony, of your capacities for joy and freedom, and bringing online the expectations for freedom, the expectations for joy, the expectations for love to overflow in, as, and through us, reflecting everywhere, flourishing, expanding, ever increasing, because our source is infinite. Love is infinite. Just allow the heart to open. Give the heart permission to open even more, to receive even more of this love. Allowing any walls of protection that were built from perceptions of fear to be handed over one by one in love, in gratitude. Because at one time it did serve us. But we're now in a new world. A world where love reigns, where love flourishes. Just allowing any frequencies of fear or systems of fear to be left behind, to be handed over, transmuted, as they bloom into systems of love. And take another deep breath. So we allow the heart to open even more, the system to open even more, to drink in more and more love, to receive the upgrades, to functioning in love, from love, as love. Just connect to the gratitude that we arrived, that we made it, that this is possible. We got to a place where this is actually possible to choose we basically put on our new sweater right now. We choose our new world right now. Continue to breathe and open. The gratitude will amplify it. The gratitude increases your receptivity. And you can even just think, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Even if you don't feel it yet, just reach for that frequency. And simultaneously receiving the gratitude of the universe, of the divine, the angels, the light beings, thanking you for choosing love, for choosing freedom, for choosing abundance, for choosing what you are. Just letting it be easy, just opening, allowing, surrendering to your divine self. Let your divine self take over and handle everything. And just be in your love and your gratitude. Just allowing, opening. Take another deep breath. And now there's some energy coming in. I am free, I am free, I am free. As these beautiful light beings remind you, you are free. You can simultaneously remind yourself, I am free, I am free, I am free. And you're encouraged to say that out loud. I am free, I am free, I am free. So we drink in even more light, allowing it to ground through us into Gaia, into the fifth dimensional crystalline core of beautiful, loving Gaia. And allowing her love to amplify the love that is flowing in. The love that we are. Receiving her gratitude for being willing to step into and birth this new world. To be the bridge, to be the light, to be the conduit for this love to flow, to be invited in, to be birthed. And she says, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we allow our receptivity to be increased even more. Giving ourselves permission to receive even more love. Even more acknowledgement of the love that we are, of the value. Of the blessing that we are. Take another deep breath. This is gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Continues. Thank you. as we invite the experiences of love, seeing love everywhere, feeling love everywhere in this new world, in every part of our self, of our body, of our soul, of our experience, just inviting it in. And again, igniting the expectation of that, bringing that online, expecting love to express everywhere, through every aspect of life. Reaching for what that would actually feel like. I wonder what that would actually be like and feel like for love to be expressing all around me. And will you give yourself permission to feel it? And would you be willing to release any defense mechanisms you've put in place to feeling that love? And just letting it in, reminding what it feels like, and that it's safe to feel, and to feel the love, and to be the love. You don't have to hide anymore. We're not in that world. We left that world behind. As you stand in this beautiful, new, flourishing, brilliant realm of love and light, heaven on earth, give yourself permission to shine, to light it up, to illuminate, to be seen again as the beautiful, brilliant, magnificent light that you are. It's time to light it up. Just give every single part of you permission to light up, to shine even brighter, to love even more. To let in even more of you, the love that you are, the light that you are, the infinite flow of grace and harmony and joy. And will you allow this river of love, this flow of love and light, to carry you into greater and greater levels of peace, of harmony, joy, even greater than you've ever imagined in your life. Allowing your life to be the divine living through you, to be love living and expressing through you. Will you let go of all the control and just let love have its way with you? Will you let go of all the agendas and expectations of the past? And just be in the world where love reigns and love gets to have its way with you and surprise you in magical ways. Where you get to flourish in love and infinite abundance. And not only are your needs met, but they are highly exceeded beyond all expectations, beyond your wildest imagination. So much fulfillment, so much joy. Just allow yourself to relax into that possibility, and giving permission for love to have its way with you, for the divine love directly from Source to carry you home. Will you let yourself be carried? Will you let yourself float? Will you surrender to the river of love? Just setting the intentions to release anything that won't allow that for you. Any choices of the past, or you decided it wasn't safe to be loved or safe to be in love. Any parts of us that are afraid to let go, just going to love them. Say, it's okay. This is different now. It's okay to let go now. It's okay to relax. We're going to be all right. We're going to be more than all right. It's time to spiral upward into greater levels of thriving and flourishing and living and joy than we ever imagined was going to be possible in this realm. We totally reset the system. We've totally brought love back online. The systems of love are here to reign. It's time to allow it. It's time to acknowledge it fully so that it can birth fully in your life. As we give permission to open even more, to let go even more, surrendering to the river of love, pure, perfect love from Source. Remembering that we were never separate, that we were never alone. Regardless of what we experienced, it's time now to wake up from that dream. It's time to fully awaken to love, to joy, to remembering our truth. And take a deep breath. As we allow the peace, the harmony to be reestablished in every aspect of us, as all these aspects are invited to come out of the shadows, it's safe to come out now. We made it. We crossed the threshold into the new world. It's time to come be loved. It's time to be embraced and loved and accepted as you are. We don't have to fix or change anything here. We just love it. We just love it. And you're already loved. You're already loved. You're already loved. Every single one of you is already loved. No matter what you thought you did, we're leaving the old world behind. It was just a dream. Whatever you thought you did was just a dream? Will you completely forgive yourself and let go? Will you completely forgive everyone else and just let go so the river of love can carry you home? As we hug every aspect of you, acknowledging its worth, acknowledging its value, acknowledging that whatever it experienced is being held in love, is being held in love. And inviting it to step out of the pain, out of the hurt, and choose love instead, to join us in this love, to let the river carry it home. Let the river of love carry you home. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. We invite you to continue to give the heart permission to open gently, right? Gently, gently. Just give your heart a big hug. Thank it for all that it was doing to protect you in the old world, as we invite it to acknowledge it's in the new world now. It's in love. It's safe to be loved. It's safe to be loved. And it's safe to remember fully that you are love. Take some deep breaths. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your willingness and your courage to say yes to everything you have up until this point, so that you could be ready to say yes to love. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for saying yes to love. There is so much love for you. We encourage you to cultivate this awareness, to invite the expansion of the awareness of how much you are loved, and to invite the overflow of love to continue to move through you into this realm, to birth and to reign. And as you continue to invite, continue to acknowledge, it will expand even more for you. This is a very auspicious time, an auspicious time of choice, where these frequencies of pure, perfect love are literally within your reach. And even though you may not be connecting to it yet, on a conscious level, you can simply invite it in. And little by little, your awareness will shift. But we encourage you to remember to choose it consciously, to remember to invite it, and to cultivate awarenesses in noticing all the love that is being expressed in your world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our love for you is infinite. Blessings. And we'd like to also just give the opportunity, if there are any questions or anyone wants to share, you're welcome to raise your hand. And otherwise, just enjoy basking in this energy. Enjoy expanding more and more into this love. Just letting it flow, just allowing it to permeate, allowing it to integrate. And they're saying again, invite it in. It's literally at your door, right? It's knocking on your door. Invite it in. Invite it in. And this attunement is going to continue for you over the next 72 hours or so and beyond. But we invite you to use this time to invite love in, to acknowledge that you are love. And they're saying, I am love, I am love, I am love. I am loved, I am loved, I am loved. And that's something that you can be saying in your mind to yourself no matter what you're appearing to do. Just allowing you to stay open and to continue to stay open to receiving through this infusion, through this alignment. I just want to share personally my gratitude to each of you for showing up and just wanting to share how much love I have for each of you in being willing to be these beacons of light and being willing to let the walls of separation crumble. And I'm so grateful to be sharing this journey with you. And truly, me sharing in this way is so much, it's so joyful for me. It's so fulfilling. And it really takes all of us for this to flourish, for this to be of service. Because I wouldn't be able to be of service if it wasn't for you. So thank you for being willing to receive. Thank you for being willing to show up. And thank you for being the love that you are. Much love to each of you.